everybody, to Bearcat Insider. I'm Chance Kirby. I'm with everybody's favorite assistant coach, Travis Marsh. This is the By-District Championship Clyde postgame show. We're coming to you live deep in the heart of Pilot Point, Texas, in the Coconut Palace recording studio, and we're here to bring you a fun show. How you feeling, Coach?
Man, it's a playoff win, and that's hard to come by.
They are.
And so you never want to take them for granted. You never want to assume anything, but I have a couple quick things.
Okay.
Two, not haymakers today. They're two positive things. One's going to be the fifth grade tackle football team lost in the semifinals in their playoffs this past week, and I just want to give a shout out to those kids. It was fun watching them play all year, and they got after it and just fell a little bit short there in the playoffs, but it's exciting to see the future Bearcats that are coming up. And so I really enjoyed that. So shout out to those guys. They did a great job. And obviously my son Miles is on that team. And so shout out to Miles and all of his teammates for a great season. It was exciting for sure. And then on a personal note, this was my 5th consecutive year to be a by-district champion.
That's good.
Yeah, I got thinking about that on Saturday morning. And that's neat, and I think it's hats off to all the kids over those 5 years, but I'm thankful for all the groups of coaches that have carried me to 5 consecutive years of by-district championships. So I definitely don't want to be done there, though.
No,
I would like having 2 consecutive years of area champions.
yeah, finish the fight.
Yeah, thank you, Michael Irvin.
Yeah, and then I'm not as passionate.
Oh, I got you there.
And then I want a real quick thing too. Whatever platform you are listening to this show on right now, do us a favor and like it, or whatever the equivalent is on what you're listening to. Doesn't cost you a whole lot, just a little effort, but it does mean a lot to us and all of this exposure, analytics, and complicated things that I don't even understand.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that I do understand. I check the stats on our YouTube page.
Okay.
Okay, so everything that I feel like we've ever done is cataloged on YouTube.
What have we ever done?
Well, we've broadcast some really good football games.
That's right.
That's what we've done. And we're closing in on 26,000 views. And we might have surpassed it since I checked. And so, hats off to all the people that are viewing and listening and watching. And 26,000 is a big number.
That is a big number.
And so we need 25,000, about 797 people to hit the subscribe button.
We do. We need more subscribers, and I do know how that helps. The more people that subscribe, just like Facebook and everything else knows what you like and what your interests are, it will then expose it to other people that have those interests. It just shocks the heck out of me every Saturday morning when I look on Facebook and start doing my Saturday homework to get this thing rolling for the next week, and I see comments of people asking, what was the score? How did y'all see the game? And just questions like that. And I'm like, how do people not know? I always assume people know, especially here, but they don't.
Yeah, and so, that's the homework that our listeners can do.
Just by liking and subscribing, you're helping those people.
And sharing.
That would be good.
Yeah, but no,
that's the extra step.
Yeah, we really do appreciate our listeners, and I hate to call them our fan base. I think that's a stretch.
Yeah.
But the Bearcat fan base that we just happen to be the
our fan base is it's much smaller.
Yeah, but we appeal to that crowd. But no, so it's awesome. But to get back to what we're actually supposed to be talking about, the Clyde game. I thought our kids made Clyde look like a lot different of a football team than they really are.
I agree. To use your boxing analogy that you were using a couple of weeks ago, we came out and threw haymakers and hit them in the nose, and their eyes were so watery they just never could get it back on track.
Yeah, and we kept them off balance with great defense. You can't say enough about the defense. In the time when it was still a game, they didn't do very well whenever they had the ball.
No.
Coach Freeze and the crew took care of business, and then Coach Peacock and the crew, they were keeping the scoreboard updating?
Well, I know we get into statistics later, but Big Play Jay, I don't think played the whole first half, and he led the team in tackles with 11 and 8 solos.
Yeah, he played fantastic.
He was on fire.
And, that it was just it was a good day for the Bearcats, good night for the Bearcats. And, I appreciate the fans that came. That's a long trip. Stephenville, beautiful facilities there at Tarleton, for sure. But we appreciate the fans and the band and the cheerleaders and, the people that rode the bus over to watch the game.
And thank you to the 1,423 people that listened to it on YouTube.
Yep. And, Ryan and John did a fantastic job of bringing the game into people's living rooms.
Yeah, I noticed Ryan, us making fun of him. I haven't told him that. Probably need to text him this before he hears it, but he was out of energy by the time Dakota did his bootleg touchdown. And it wasn't because of us. I think he was just...
I think there were 48 previous points
there
that
were.
Probably had him, going on all cylinders.
We tested Ryan's stamina.
Yeah, so he's going to have to go home and yell for about 2 straight hours to get...
It was very low energy.
That's okay. It's all right. But let's get a quick word from our sponsors, and then let's come back and let's talk game highlights, really.
Since 1983, the Scott Walker Insurance Agency has been covering the insurance needs of Pilot Point. Regardless of what that need may be, they have you covered, offering homeowners, auto, life, farm and ranch, and commercial. Give them a call at 940-686-2692. That's Germania Insurance, the Scott Walker Insurance Agency, located just north of the town square at 211 Scott Lane in Pilot Point, Texas. Scott Walker Insurance Agency, always there to help.
We want to wish our varsity cheerleader, Abby, a great senior year. Love Mom, Dad, and Michael.
Hi, I'm Greg Pelzel. Here at Pelzel Printing, we do custom embroidery, custom screen printing, and promotional product. You can reach Greg Pelzel at 940-453-5443. Go Bearcats.
Well, and thank you to our sponsors for making this podcast possible, and thank you for that commercial break so I could have a couple bites of dinner. So, Chance, walk us through the game. I mean, I lived it.
Well, way to throw it to me, Coach.
Chance for the assist.
Because thank you to the UIL and them taking their baby back and not letting us do video, I didn't take the detailed notes that I normally do on Saturday.
Okay.
And I'm sure you're thrilled because now I can't go play by play over the game. But we are going to hit the highlights. And if I do remember correctly, and I'm sure you've watched a lot more game film than I have, I believe they went 3 and out, and then we got the ball.
They did, and we get the ball, and we just go on a march down the field.
We do.
And it started out kind of nickels and dimes. It wasn't small plays. It wasn't huge gainers. It was just consistently gashing them. And we get down in just about the red zone. I do believe it's 14-yard line. I know it's very specific for something.
I do believe it was the 14-yard line.
14.5-yard line. But no, we were down there in the red zone.
Pass. He's pressured. He steps up in the pocket. He's going to run the ball. Going to get inside the 10, inside the 5. Touchdown, Max Holler.
When we sent the play call in.
Uh-oh. Was this a touchdown play?
We thought it was a touchdown play.
I like it.
But Max didn't throw the ball to the guy that we thought was going to be the touchdown play because I don't know if he didn't see him or if he's selfish, but he pulls it down, he takes off, and he scrambles into the end zone. And so,
so it's kind of like making the shot, but you didn't call glass. But it
it was. We felt really, really good about it with kind of what we had seen. Coach Peacock dialed it up, and man, it was one of those things where, it was, man, this is it. You have it. It's right there, and then he didn't throw the ball, and I think we were all like, oh, what's going on? And then he does Max things.
Sometimes they see things that you guys don't. Well, or can't imagine. I mean, there's no way you're going to see how that laid out. He wasn't touched until about the 4-yard line.
Yeah, no, and he does an incredible job of doing Max things.
Yes.
I would much rather have Max on our team than try to stop Max.
Absolutely.
Because
every running quarterback we've played this year, and you've done a great job in the scouting report of telling us what we need to be prepared for, and, hey, this guy runs. There's nobody that runs like Max that I've seen yet.
Well, I'm sure that guy's coming.
Yeah, I know, and
But
he may be out there.
Here's the thing is, and we'll talk about this in a minute. Let's move on. We'll get to Max, how fast Max is here in a minute.
Okay, well, we're going to keep testing my memory.
Okay.
I think they went 3 and out again, and was this where they muffed the punt or bobbled the snap and ran out of bounds, or no?
No.
Okay, of course, I knew I would be wrong. So,
No. Close.
okay.
This is where they get the ball back, and they're going to try to make a big play.
And then we made a big play.
We made a big play, and not only did we make a big play, it was a big play, Jay.
Newman is a lefty,
Good
looking
pressure.
downfield. Good pressure, making him scramble. He slings it out,
All right,
picked off. Looked like
pick
it's
six.
Jay Cox.
Take it
He's
to
gonna
the house.
take it all the way back, and he does.
It certainly was.
And so quarterback takes the snap. He gets a little bit of pressure. When he gets a little bit of the pressure, he wings it to the left flat, and there's big play Jay, who makes an outstanding interception. And
run.
He really did, and it was a great scheme by their part. I'm not going to go in depth on why it was a great scheme, but it was. And Jay made a heck of a play. And not only did he make a heck of a play to get the interception, he also took it back for 6 points. So Freeze and company are on the board. They have now tied the offense with 7 points each of output. And
Well, not to get into scheme. I mean, God knows anyone that knows me knows I can't get into scheme if I wanted to.
And if you know me, you know I'm probably not. I'm going to give you about as vanilla on the scheme as I can.
It's my assumption that Big Play Jay got to make the interception because he wasn't where he was supposed to be. He sensed something in that weird way that he can, his Jedi mind tricks, and how many? 2?
I'm afraid I can't comment on this.
Okay,
sir.
does he have more than 2 pick sixes? That I can think of 2, but for some reason I'm thinking there's more that I
So
can't.
you have Boyd and you have Clyde.
Yes, that's the 2 I can think of, only because they're the most recent.
Avery had one in Castleberry. And I don't. He almost had one in Ponder,
Okay.
but they tackled him at the 4.
We had one in Paradise, but it wasn't Jay. It's Edwin.
Is Edwin. Edwin
Yeah.
pick sixed it in there. But no, Jay almost took one back in Ponder. But they got him.
Yeah. To quote one of my favorite movies, Coming to America, he good.
He good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Yep, so Jay takes it back. Huge play. Anytime you go up 14-0 as quickly as they did, and they hadn't at this point shown signs of life, is awesome. And so we're up 14-0. And you'll have to forgive me, folks, because at some point they score on an extremely long run down the other sideline. I don't really know where it fits in, and I'm going to leave it at that because it really doesn't matter.
I don't believe it was there. But
It wasn't.
could be
It's
wrong.
just it's somewhere.
At what point, though, I do want to ask you a question. Pretend you're offensive coordinator at that time, and I know in your life, especially one particular coaching stop in your life, you've been in this position. At what point are they panicking? Or they're like, oh my, if you're over the other sidelines, or you're like, oh my gosh, we're going to have to make some changes quickly, or this is about to get out of hand.
Well, at 14-0, the panic begins.
Yeah.
Because you're now 2 possessions behind. And you got the ball first.
Yeah.
Which means the big bad Bearcats are going to get the ball to start the second half. So you already know that the Bearcats are +1 possession.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're starting to think, we got to do something. Even if it's not score. We just need to move the ball down the field and go for it on 4th down on the 30-yard line going in, just so we have something to rally around. And, at this point in the game, at 14-0 with Max scoring, with Jay pick six in it, the panic is starting, and then you try to find ways to convince yourself, well, it was a bad throw by the quarterback, pick six. And so you try to start finding ways to put a positive spin on what's going on. But the panic is definitely setting in.
Gotcha.
And we're coming off a game where people are going to say, oh, Brock killed him. Well, guys, Brock's a really good football team, and we put up 21 points in one half. So we can score. Mm-hmm. Well, you've already spotted us 14 points. So now you're having to try to figure out how you're going to stop an offense that is potent And the defense so far has scored on you and made you punt on a 3-and-out on your opening possession, which is by far the worst way you can possibly start a game outside of turning it over.
Yeah.
So the panic's real right now. And then we get to touchdown number 3.
Touchdown number 3.
Which is impressive of a quarterback sneak as you will ever see, because he was untouched into the end zone on a quarterback sneak.
They just run it again, and this time Max Hollers untouched in the end zone.
This starts a chain of events that I noticed. I don't know what the record is, and if there is a record, and I hate that there's not, but this is the first of 5 touchdowns that Pilot One has in this game. 5. That our guy with the ball is completely untouched by the defense. 5 touchdowns. Now, I know we say every show, no offense. I don't know if that's a defensive issue. If our line was blocking amazing, which that's what I want to believe it is. If it's this superstorm of a combination and the perfect combination of the two. But
the answer is yes.
But we scored 5 touchdowns without the ball carrier being touched. 3 of them over 40 yards.
Yeah, and that's a testament, to the offensive line. If you'll ever let me work my way through this list, we'll get to it. But
well, see, I'm not used to you having the list.
On Max's long touchdown run, his about 70-yarder, the hole was so massive. You literally could have driven a truck through it.
Which, to fast forward, I believe that. No, it's not. Sorry, go ahead.
But you could have driven a hole through it.
Driven a truck through it, not a hole through it.
Well, you could have.
Driven a truck and a hole through it.
It's late. I'm tired. I had junior high basketball early this morning.
All right, well, before we get to the truck driving, let's go back to the next touchdown, which was the most exciting touchdown, in my opinion, of the night.
But let's talk about what leads up to it.
5 wide, man-on-man everywhere. Quarterback back to pass, looking to throw the ball, and he goes across the middle, and it's intercepted again.
That's Ish.
That looks like Ish Harris, who fielded that one. Beautiful interception, and he's going to take it out back across into Bulldog territory.
I am a critic of Ish's hands at corner.
We've had some fun talks about it.
Yes,
because we know he listens.
Yes, and I have talked crap about the fact that he would probably lead the state in interceptions if he could catch.
And we made fun of him how, I think it was the Boyd game, where he caught the ball and coaxed it to the ground like he was catching an egg.
He gently guided it to the ground. It was very, very sweet of him.
Yeah.
His interception after Max's quarterback sneak on the ensuing offensive drive was about as impressive of an interception as you've seen since Jay Cox intercepted the one in the first quarter before it. I mean, it was a beautiful interception. The coverage was fantastic. The throw was really not a bad throw. He could have put maybe a little bit more air under it or something like that. But Ish had to extend to get it. 2
ways to see that. On our Facebook page, that interception is on there. Thank you, Molly Holloway, for the great camera work. Or on the photo gallery on our website. Great photo of it, too. I mean, it's a great catch. Let's not leave out the fact on a heck of a block, too.
Oh, the return was fun.
The return was amazing.
And the return was fun because, that's the beauty of Ish is that, it's like an artist with a canvas, because all of a sudden he has room.
Yes.
And everybody's spread out. And, you think he's about to make some magic happen. And he does. But the most fun was watching Jay pummel the crap out of an offensive lineman in front of
62, I believe.
Number 62 was not ready for number 5.
No, and you do not see single-digit numbers normally do that to people in the numbers in the 60s.
He killed him.
And
he did.
He obliterated vicious.
Him. And so
thank you, Molly, for that.
Yeah,
you
get to see it live and in person right there in
awesome.
front of you. And we were impressed whenever we saw it on our huddle film. It was impressive. But then all of a sudden you see it from that angle and you're like, whoa. Man.
Even John sees it on the call. You can hear him groan. He's like, oh.
Yeah. No, it was impressive. So Ish's excellent interception and his fantastic return lead to TK.
Max Holler takes this snap and pitches it out to TK, who immediately runs around the defender, gets inside the 10, breaks another tackle, runs over, man, dives to the pylon. Are they going to mark him out or say he got in? No, they got in. Wow. What a run by TK.
Okay, TK.
Outrun.
TK had the most impressive touchdown run of the night. Exciting.
Yes, he wanted it.
He did.
And he was going to make it happen.
He did.
I think he broke 4 tackles and stretched out
and he got airborne
to the pylon.
Airborne into the pylon is what you want. That's great stuff. And so that is TK's first touchdown as a Bearcat, I do believe.
It is.
And so welcome to the club, TK. I think it speaks volumes for the effort of him on that play. And as impressive as the offensive line was for all those untouched runs, TK had to work for his.
There were a lot of guys back there with him.
Yes, but he worked for it, and he
It
pulled.
wouldn't be as exciting, though,
No,
otherwise. Who wants to have one that you just, run around the left side that we'll get to later, and our radio announcers, just whatever.
Just wait. Until we get to that one. So TK, that's our 4th touchdown of the game. And I don't even know where we are in the game at this point. I don't know if it's halftime. I don't know if it's before.
It is not halftime because
halftime.
Max scored 4 touchdowns in the first half.
We got 2 more to go then. So the next touchdown is going to be a 70-yard run by Maximus Holler.
That would be the truck driving one.
Yes, Maxwell. He had a huge hole that he could just
drive a hole or a truck through.
he hit the gas. Whatever he was driving. It's fast.
Across the 40, outruns the safety. I don't think he expected him to be that fast. And this is going to go all the way. One play, 70-yard touchdown. Max Holler, Pelzel printing touchdown. The safety was not prepared for Max Holler to be that fast.
Another great shot of that one. Molly was in the right spot at the right time on that video as well.
Man, I'm telling you, and if you watch that one, he looks fast when he runs by the camera, and he is getting after it. And so, again. It's a great culmination of the offensive line blocked so well. Jacob Scott obliterates number 6, I do believe. He was a linebacker that triggered and came into the hole, and Scotty was pulling, and he just obliterates him. And then Max is off to the races, and I'm sure they're coaches, and I'm gonna err on the side that Clyde has good coaches that have watched film. And I know at some point the defensive coordinator said, hey guys, number 12 is pretty fast. But I think at about the 30-yard line, after Max had already run 40 yards, I think the free safety finally said, holy crap, this guy's really fast.
Yeah, a lot like the Boyd guy that they had the angle for a little bit, and then got all shuffled up.
So Max from 70, which he covers faster than most people can cover 70, and it was awesome. And then he comes back and he scores, I think, on a 32-yarder.
Max Holler with some more space, and he's just going to outrun everybody in the end zone. My goodness, he is fast. 2 plays, 86 yards, touchdown.
This one,
4 people. 4 people have the angle. They're there.
They're converging because he's running down the hashes and back up. The 70-yard run was the second touchdown of the night that we had a ball runner.
Not touched.
Ball carrier, not touched. No. This touchdown we're talking about now, where he parted the seas.
Yeah. And
not touched.
That's where I was going to go with it, is people are converging with him like crazy. And maybe Moses was in the end zone saying,
wow, I'm going to go biblical. Your dad's going to be proud when he listens to this podcast.
He is. Thank you, Dad, for that. And thank you, first, I'd like to thank Randall O'Brien and Susan Dowdy, my Old Testament teachers at Baylor. That's awesome by them that I can remember this, and my dad's Lifelong Achievement Award for.
That's impressive. You can remember your teacher.
Yeah, he was awesome. They were great.
I do not remember my religion teacher at TCU.
Did you go to class?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
It was a fun class, but I don't remember his name.
Yeah, but no, it looks outside linebackers and safeties are closing in, and then they just can't touch Max because Max
they're kind of waving.
Yeah,
Not at him, like trying to grab him.
Yeah, it's like that Pee-wee run, where it's like, man, I can't catch this guy, but I'm going to put my hand
Yeah,
out
or
so
like-
that Coach knows I'm
Or like
trying.
Wile E. Coyote trying to catch Roadrunner, and there's just dust there. Like, I mean,
Is that it? It's Max Roadrunner Holler.
it has got to be frustrating. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? I know that Max is fast.
Yes.
And so that finishes our first half of scoring 6 touchdowns in one half, 2 impressive interceptions. Defense, I do believe that at some point Clyde scored in the first half, I think.
They did.
Okay, on a long run down the other sideline where we should have had him, but we didn't.
Why was, and here you go again, you're probably going to look at me and say that's something you won't discuss. That, for lack of a better term, because I don't know what, the run to the left, the quarterback keeper to the left, I know I'm oversimplifying it.
GT. Quarterback GT.
They had success on that. That was their most successful play. Unfortunately, you just can't run it every time. But it seemed like most of the time they had success on it.
You're right. We're not going to talk about it.
Okay. Good enough.
But we fixed it.
Okay. You saw it too? Really?
Crazy, I know. No, and some of it was a small alignment issue. Some of it was just we weren't triggering on it. There were various times where we might have gone too far upfield, and so it created a larger hole. There were times where the kid just made a good cut and broke some tackles. You know, he was a good quarterback. He was a good runner.
All right, so before we go to our next break, I'm going to ask you the same thing I ask you every game.
Okay.
What was the locker room like? And the reason I want to know is I didn't think it could happen based on what I had seen, but we've went into half with big leads this year and then somehow come earlier in the year and come out. It had to be in the far reaches of your mind to say, hey, guys, let's stay focused. You know, this can turn or no. Tell me how I'm wrong.
Well, it was just kind of constant coaching.
Mm-hmm.
We had success on offense, and you know that success goes back to Coach Peacock calling a fantastic game and having a great plan, and the kids executed that great plan. And so offensively, we just kind of had to go in there and tweak and just kind of say, hey, man, you know, do this a little different or do this or let's look at this. You know, and then defensively, it was the same thing. We were just coaching up our kids. You know, hey, if you get a down block, squeeze a little bit tighter. If you get this look, change this. Make sure we're doing this. Watch out for that. And so it was really just kind of, I mean, no disrespect to Clyde, but the biggest concern at halftime was that the locker room was stinking hot. I mean, it was burning up in there. Our kids were so anxious to get out of there. Because
Keeps them angry.
Yeah, but you know, it was just calm, collected, take care of business. We're going to coach you up, you know, and you hate to be cliche, but what would a coach be if they weren't cliche? You were,
yes,
you were really looking at it like it's a 0-0 ball game. Let's go out there and keep improving. And the good thing is with the game and we were fortunate enough to play as well as we played. A lot of young kids got a lot of reps. And so we still had, as coaches, we had plenty of work to do. And so that was exciting. It was good. Anytime you can get young kids in a playoff game, you know, the God honest truth is you never know when you're going to be back. So you know, let's try to get as many kids in as we can.
Makes sense.
So it was exciting. And, you know, you don't ever think when you're up 48, I guess, to 6.
It was to 8.
To 8, that's
yes.
right. They made the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
I won't even want to get started on that. We have to get our head out of our tail end after a big play and get ready. That's on us as coaches. The 2 points. That's frustrating because they should have been more prepared than what they were, and that's on us. Just like, you know, when Jay scored, Aiden somehow, I guess he's so excited for his brother. I think what Ryan said, that he forgot to go back out for extra point. You know, the kids have to stay focused, and we have to do a good job of keeping them focused. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, you want to tell them it's a 0-0 game. Let's go out there and get better, and so that's what we do. So let's take a quick commercial break, hear from a couple of our sponsors. We'll come back and talk about the second half.
Sounds good. We'll stay focused, come back, and try to get better.
That's it. 0-0 ball game.
Pelzel Barbershop and Salon and Southern Junkies has been home of the Bearcats since 1973. Whether you are looking for a classic crew cut or the perfect game day outfit, we have you covered. We carry a few fan favorite brands including Hey Dude Shoes, Judy Blue Jeans, Z Supply Clothing, and Orleans Candle Company. Come check us out on the north side of the square in downtown Paula Point or online at www.southernjunkies.com, and that is Junkies with a Z. And don't forget, go Bearcats!
There is no better source for local news than the Pilot Point Post-Signal. Pilot Point Post-Signal has been covering Pilot Point since 1878, providing award-winning top-notch coverage of Pilot Point and the Pilot Point Bearcats. You can start your subscription today by going to postsignal.com and signing up for their special, which is 2 months free of the digital and print copy, or you can call their phone number at 940-686-2169. The Pilot Point Post-Signal, the best source for local news. All right, we're back. We're going to talk about the second half. You're listening to the Bearcat Insider Podcast with Chance Kirby and Travis Marsh, voted the best Bearcat podcast in Pilot Point.
Possibly of all time.
Possibly.
If there's a competitor, we're probably second best all time. But
No,
for right now, I think
come
we're
on
all
now.
time. Nah, we're good.
All right, you got the notes, so take off.
So, really, we'll go ahead and get Clyde's score out of the way because I don't even know when it happened. But at that point in the game, we had a lot of our JV players in, and so it was just awesome to get them some experience. I'm sure that there's some coaching points that come from that drive, but the Bulldogs did have to work for it. You know, it wasn't just a one-play JV defense drive, so that was encouraging. But getting to the Bearcat scores, all of a sudden, Ish breaks free.
3rd and 8 for the Bearcats. And this is going to be a rollout. It's going to be a draw coming back to Ish Harris. He's going to pick up the first down plus some. And he's going to take that all the way to the house. So that's going to be 64 yards there for Ish Harrison. You knew he wasn't happy with his workload in the first half, so they told him to get one more, and he takes it 64 yards to the house.
And he hadn't really had a whole bunch of running room for long gains. You know, like I said, we'd been nickel and diming him.
Well, in our last game of the regular season, you and I talked, and I felt like they came into that game saying, Max is not going to beat us. I felt like Clyde said, Ish is not going to beat us.
Well, and, you know, Max did a lot of the dirty work.
Yeah.
And Ish did a fantastic job. Ish breaks free, and I think it is 64 yards untouched.
And that is number 3 of the night. I'm sorry. Look at there. I can't even keep up. That's why you have notes. That's number 4 now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Molly again. Molly Holloway, PilotPointBearcats.com, camera woman. Perfect shot and angle, and he is untouched. You can see it on our Facebook page.
No, and so hats off to Ish for having the vision to hit the extremely large, wide open hole that the offensive line put in front of him, because they did a great job again.
What did Perez feed them this week? Do we need to do the same? Are we doing all the same things? I know Coach Alling's really big on repetition and superstition and whatever else he's into.
Coach Perez does a fantastic job and Coach Alling, they both do a fantastic job of preparing these linemen for the fronts that they're going to see. They do a good job of understanding their blocking schemes with the front that we're going to see. And so, it is hats off to Coach Perez for feeding them the knowledge that they
I'm
needed.
sorry to mess that up for you.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's fine because the linemen understood what was going to be in front of them.
We're so proud of that statement when you said it and you looked at me too, and I laughed.
Yeah, it's fine. But no, he did. He had them ready to play. And not only were they going to the right spot, which is step one, they were physical when they got there, which is what, as a coach you're the most proud of is whenever your kids. We never encourage our kids to play dirty, but we sure want them to play nasty. And I felt like we had a couple of linemen that got a little nasty on Friday night, and I liked it.
It was good.
Thought it was good stuff. So hats off to Coach Perez and Coach Alling. And then if we're going to throw out kudos to coaches, hats off to Coach Kramer for making sure Ish knew which wide open hole to hit.
Who signals the plays in? That guy didn't do such a good job.
That guy, he's a
Junior high basketball coach.
He's a junior high basketball coach. Just happy to be around, man.
Yeah.
All the coaches did a fantastic job of preparing the kids, and the kids did a great job of listening to the coaches. And as I've already said, but I'll reiterate, Coach Freeze and Coach Perez, Coach Peacock had great plans on their respective sides of the ball going in. And then one last score.
Yeah, I formation. This is going to be a rollout. Oh, this is just a naked bootleg here. Nothing to it. Touchdown, Dakota David.
This is Dakota David's first non-passing touchdown of his varsity career. And he got to show off his wheels a little bit.
Yeah.
We had quarterback run plays scored 5 touchdowns.
They did.
Dakota's looked every bit as good as Max's did. And he looked like a gazelle going to the pylon.
Was that, which understandably, when you start shuffling in a mixture of varsity players and JV players, and you can tell that Dakota was, I'm not going to say he was frustrated, but before every snap, Dakota was having to make sure people were in the correct positions. It was a debate on the radio show, and it looked that way to me. Was that a called naked boot, or was that a busted play naked boot? Or are you not going to tell me like every other thing?
Well, no, this is the greatest thing ever. Dakota ran the play. The running back ran the wrong way.
Okay.
I think Dakota told him to go the wrong way.
So he could have the boot?
and I say that completely in jest. Dakota did not do that, but I did ask him on the sidelines. I said, "Hey, come here. Did you tell TK the wrong way?" And he goes, No. But no, Dakota, I'll tell you what, he is, and he has a leg up on a lot of the competition because he grew up in a coaching family around the game. He's been around more football than probably anybody. And that is such a kind of a blessing to have around you because when you get some inexperienced kids out there, at one point Dakota was in the backfield with a freshman fullback and a freshman running back.
Well, it was truly the cliche because God knows you love him, the coach on the field.
He's like a coach on the field, or sometimes it's like being an air traffic controller back there with all the moving pieces. And he does such a good job of getting kids in the right spot, make sure that they know what to do, and he's so calm while doing it all that it's got to be calming to those youngsters out there he just tells them what to do. And gosh, he'll grab them and move them if he needs to.
He did, yeah.
And so, we really are very fortunate to have Dakota. And, one of our other quarterbacks that we have on the roster, Preston Webb, he's very similar to that same thing of he understands where people are supposed to be and supposed to go. And when he got in the game, he had to do the exact same thing. But it really is nice to even whenever Max was out earlier in the year, whenever we were able to plug Dakota in, your style of offense, of course, changes, losing the athleticism of Max, but you didn't have to change anything for the backup quarterback because he has such a intimate knowledge of everything that's going on that nothing changes. You're good, you're fine, because the backup quarterback knows exactly. He's the consummate backup quarterback.
I did see him do something that you said in I believe it was the Whitesboro game. Was that the one where Dakota threw a pick six? The Whitesboro game?
Yes.
You told me in that post game that he would never do that again, that he would learn from that. In this game, he rolled right, didn't see what he was looking for, and threw it right into the benches
Just like he was coached to do.
Just like he had done it the wrong way before and knew to never do that again.
And
that oven's still hot, and he knew not to touch it.
And he's such an intelligent kid. And his football sense and his football savvy is of course he has things to learn like what you said with the Whitesboro, but his ability to retain and it really is impressive.
Something else that kind of like Scotty's block you were talking about that I missed, and I've watched that video so many times and I didn't see that. I want to point out something that you may not have seen on Dakota's touchdown, and I want everyone else to see it if they want. They can find that touchdown on our Facebook page as well, at Pilot Point Bearcat blog, if those of you that don't follow it. But we get to see your vertical jump in action.
Yeah. Who jumped higher, me or Dakota?
I'm going to have to go back and measure.
Okay.
It's close, though.
Well,
it's not a clear-cut champion.
Yeah, well, if we have the opportunity, I will make sure there's a clear-cut champion next time. If I know I'm on camera, by God, I want the scouts to see me,
and that you have to out-jump Dakota.
Well, I want the scouts to see me. They're gonna be like, "Oh man, 13." They're gonna be like, "Oh, who's that guy in the orange polo?"
Yeah.
So
let's go back and look at some old 22 footage.
No, they did that once, and nobody came calling.
Yeah.
So no, but it was a great team effort all the way around. I think we have, one more commercial break real quick?
We do, but real quick, we got so far off track, I don't remember if I said it, and if I'm being repetitive, point it out, or I apologize. That was the last touchdown, number 5, that we had of someone that was untouched.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Offensive line, man.
Yeah, way to go.
Feed them knowledge.
Yes, let's go to that last break, and then we'll discuss some statistics and wrap this up.
Cat fans, one thing that I love about walking into the field house is looking at all the old pictures that you have from years past and being able to relive the history of those great teams and great players. And I love walking through with my sons and showing them a picture and saying, man, look at that guy, and telling them a story about a great play. And you can have the same opportunity to do that with your family by using Ashley Marsh Photography to capture your family's great memories. Seeing those pictures of your family will allow you to talk to your kids or your grandkids and tell great stories about things that you've done or things that you've seen or just funny memories that you might have. So if you ever want to document your family's history, please contact Ashley Marsh Photography. You can find her on Facebook, on Instagram using Ashley Marsh Photography, as well as her website, ashleymarshphotography.com.
Located in Pilot Point, Texas, the Chandler family has been making custom cabinets for over 40 years. As a team, Chandler Cabinets is committed to designing and building the perfect cabinets for you. They will make the process comfortable and stress-free by personally guaranteeing a superior product built on the standard of superior craftsmanship and immaculate customer satisfaction. From concept to completion, perfect form and function. Chandler Cabinets is an award-winning company with a reputation for consistent innovation at the highest level of design. You can find more information on Chandler Cabinets at chandlercabinets.net or on their Facebook page, Chandler Cabinets. Chandler Cabinets, 40 years of excellence.
All right, thank you to our sponsors. Now that we're back from the break, hit me with your best shot here.
Whew, we came back from that break so fast that these breaks are not as long in real time as they seem like it on those of you out there listening on the podcast. All right, here we go. Passing. Max was 3 for 5 for 86 yards. Dakota, 1 for 1.
It's a nice strike to Cade Carter in the right flat.
That was, and then, boy, Cade got hit hard.
That guy found him.
And that guy stood over him, too.
Yeah.
I wondered if Cade said scoreboard or something, because that guy stood over him.
I don't know. That guy gave him some chin music, though.
It was a lick.
Yeah. But, no, hats off to Cade, man. That was a great catch, and it's a good job.
Rushing's interesting. Max Holler only had 6 carries. 139 yards.
Okay, so
an average of 23.2 yards per carry.
Why average a first down when you can average 2?
Exactly. And he had 4 TDs.
Okay.
Ish had 10 carries, 122 yards.
Gosh, for a mediocre 12-point-something average.
Something that's interesting on here, we had 9 different people carry the ball.
Yeah.
Of the 9, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 of them don't even have numbers on Max Preps. It doesn't even show what their number is.
That would be Alex Puga, number 9.
Yes.
And then you would have Diego Alejos, number 2.
Yes, and I want to talk about both of those guys.
Let's talk about it.
Where have y'all been hiding Puga? I guess on JV.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with him to the point that Ryan and John in the booth were like, you got to find out who number 9 is because he's making too many plays and we don't know what his name is. On defense and offense, the guy was like a spark plug or a water bug on offense, just zigzagging and spin moves. And then Defense, he made a heck of a play. I believe he was standing at end, which the defense was kind of like we were talking about the offense. Sometimes people didn't exactly stand where I'm certain they maybe should have been, but it's where it looked like he started from was defensive end. I mean, he just came over there and batted down a ball that he recognized was going to be a screen, and then he recovered a fumble too.
Yeah, no, they were stashed on our 8-2 JV team.
Yeah.
And they played a big role in the success of that 8-2 JV team. And then on Friday night, they both played a big role in the success that we had.
And then the same way with Alejos, that guy can hit.
Yeah, there's a nice hit that he made on kickoff team.
Yes.
Which we got to do that a lot, thankfully.
It has to feel good as a coach to have kids like this stashed away on JV.
Yeah.
That you can allow them to get the playing time and the experience on JV and then call them up in the playoffs when you need them.
Puga played meaningful minutes.
And made meaningful contributions.
He was in on defense, I do believe, the 4th series of the game. So he got in early. He wasn't just a trash time, let's throw a freshman out there. And so that's always nice. That's a great thing to have. And
finished the night with 2 solo tackles.
Yeah. And a near sack, but he missed. And then a fumble recovery.
It was a heck of a night for him. Yeah. I was really happy. Receiving, Jay was leading receiver with 1 catch for 47 yards. We had 4 different receivers catch 1 ball.
See, so we had Cade, Aston, Jay, and who's the other one?
The other one was on the first drive. I think it was Avery, 16 yards. I think he caught it down our sidelines.
He caught it on our sideline.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
And then just moving down to tackles, and I said earlier, which I was really impressed with, that Jay, I'm not certain, played a complete first half, and he had 8 solos, 3 assists for a total of 11 tackles. Followed right up by Tristan with 6 solo and 2 assists.
And just to stop you right there, both those guys are awesome to have.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both exceptional athletes that move, and they can fly, and they can tackle, and it is nice to have those 2 guys standing back there on that second level.
Yeah, I mean, I guess every kid's different, but it looked like to me that the starters really kind of enjoyed and appreciated getting to come off in the second half and cheer on, and they had a lot of fun with the JV guys out there.
They were cheering. It wasn't just hey, we're going to come over here and hang out and be cool guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they were right up there, Ish wanted to signal plays, which, no, Ish. No. But they were cheering them on, and, every time Diego made a play, you heard the players behind you, not just the stands, but you heard the players saying, ooh, and this and that. And so it really is. It was encouraging, and then at the same time, it's nice for those guys to get a little bit of a break and watch the youngsters produce.
Which that's some of the stuff that Coach David speaks about in the Bearcat Breakfast every Thursday morning at 5:45 at Buffs, on how these times are, and they're going to experience things that they will never forget. And it's not necessarily it's the football, it's the fun. And that's what I was thinking as I was watching that they're going to enjoy that second half and cheering on the kids and the kids that were getting cheered on by their older peers.
Yeah, no, and that's it. And that's the good thing about a place like Pilot Point, that, we've had consistent playoff success over the longevity of the program, and that's something that's nice, because it's something you can keep building on. And so these youngsters, at least for this one game, they got a taste of playoff football,
just like last year at the Slayton game.
Yeah, they got a taste of playoff football, and once you get a taste of playoff football,
you want more,
and you want more, and then all of a sudden that preseason game, sure, it's fun to play and it's great, but there's such a palpable difference between a regular season game, a district game, and a playoff game. And the intensity just increases, and the pressure just increases, and, gosh, I'm going on game 177. And I will be as nervous or more nervous than I've ever been on Friday night. And you can't replicate that feeling. And for these youngsters to get that and to get that in a game where they got to go out there and they got to hit or they got to get hit, or, it builds that hunger and that desire to say, gosh, I just want to get back to that. And so that's the fun of it.
Moving on down the stat list, we get to sacks. It was a family affair. Aiden had 2, Jay had 1, team had 3.
Yeah.
And then Jay had an interception, Ish had an interception, which we discussed, and Alex had a fumble recovery. And then, I put the statistics out every week on our Facebook page and Twitter page and the leading statistics from the game, and we always do return yardage. Well, I texted number 8 this morning and said, no offense, you are the return leader, but you only had 6 yards, and I'm not sure which is worse for me to put that you were the return leader with 6 yards or just not post anything at all, so I chose not to post anything about it at all. And he agreed. He said that was a good move.
Yeah. No. Well, we thank him for his 6-yard contribution to Bearcat football.
That's right.
No.
But let's talk about nothing to do with number 8. The best athlete on Clyde, no offense to the other guys, that kicker was unreal.
Oh, he's good.
They need to give him the ball more.
Well, that would mean that they scored more.
He ran the ball, though?
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
He was something.
Well, I guess they missed out on that one.
I don't have their stats, but it was similar to when we played Paradise, and we were like, where did that guy come from?
Yeah, that was number 6 for Paradise.
Yeah, this kid, and is that kicker a sophomore?
I'm on to the next game already, man.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway,
I don't live in the past.
Shout out to Clyde's kicker.
Yeah, no, he was impressive. He really was.
Yeah.
He was a good kicker. And the show that he put on in pregame was impressive.
Well, that's what I didn't want them to score, but I really wanted to see them try a long field goal.
I think they should have.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Let him try.
Yeah, I might have cheered for him a little bit.
Well, if you don't have anything, that pretty much wraps up this.
Well, I have maybe 3 things. Maybe 2. I can't think of off the top of my head, so I'm just going to talk.
I just can't wait.
When we get to the end, we get to the end. First off, big thank you to all the fans that made the trip, and I've already said that once, but it's always awesome to go to a far-off place and have the Bearcat faithful be there and supporting us. And then the second thing, well, since we won, we have another playoff game coming up. We will introduce Shallow Water as our opponent in our pregame show, but it is Shallow Water at Breckenridge, 7 p.m. Friday, November 20th.
At Buckaroo Stadium.
At Buckaroo Stadium. And so, again, it's a road trip, but that's just what you get when you go west and you're the easternmost school in a western region. We're just,
the way it works.
We're just going to be traveling, and that's okay. As long as we keep winning, we keep traveling, so let's keep traveling.
Even if we were in Region 2, the East region, we would be the far west team of the Eastern region. So
but it's just
not, is what it is.
It's not going, to the other side of Lubbock to play a team.
Yeah. Yet.
So, Shallow Water, we'll go more in depth in the pregame against them for sure. But I wanted everybody to have the information since this will go out well before our pregame show. Also, we're going to have a radio call, to my knowledge.
We will.
And so
no video, and that is not because that's the way we want it. That's the way the UIL wants it, and we're going to do what the UIL says.
We've gotten some, we'll call it feedback. And there are avenues that you can take to be able to produce video. However, the avenue that we use, which is YouTube Live, which has been a very good medium for us, we will continue to use it because of everything that it offers us as a production team, is not compatible with
It's compatible. It's not allowable.
Well, it's not compatible with the NFHS and the UIL's framework and Fox Sports and all the governing bodies.
Yeah, I'm not being argumentative, but I haven't been really my normal self this show, so let it come out now.
Sure, go ahead.
Compatible makes it sound like we don't fit. It's not the right word. It's not allowed. We have to broadcast on the NCFS network, which is pay-per-view. And from the way it was explained to me, I'm not on it. I had a fan send me a message and said it's $80. $80. Watch a game.
Yeah, no, thank you.
We can't broadcast on that. They will not allow YouTube, which is what we use. They will not allow any third-party server. So what that leaves, if you're not going to join the network and ask the Pilot Point fans to pay $80 to see a game, you're going to have to be on Fox Sports Southwest. Well, I don't know what the fee is to get the rights for our game, but even if we did, back to where I'm having my issue with you, why you mean you aren't being compatible right now, if they gave us the rights, we still do not have a broadcast network that's not on a third-party server to be able to show that game.
Right.
And I don't know what the penalties are, but we're talking about the UIL, and we're talking about monetary penalties from Fox Sports Southwest, who owns the rights. I can promise you Bearcat Insider and PilotPointBearcats.com cannot afford to pay them, nor can Pilot Point ISD afford to deal with any UIL repercussions. And I don't want to be the guy that was responsible for the UIL calling 10 with Todd, Mr. Southard, and having that conversation.
Well, it's just not worth the risk.
It isn't.
I just don't want Pilot Point's name brought up in a negative light with the UIL in any stretch of the imagination.
Yes, I don't want Pilot Point and the UIL in the same sentence at any time.
Unless it's UIL state champion.
Correct. Yes.
That's what we're working on.
Absolutely. And we will have a radio cast for that game. No video.
Because we can.
And that one will be on Fox Sports Southwest.
Yes,
so
we can watch that on the TV.
There you go. Still listen to our radio, though.
Please.
And those of you, speaking of that, those of you that do pay the $80 and do watch the Pilot Point shallow water game from Buckaroo Stadium on Friday night, find the youngest person in your house, which most likely is the most technologically advanced person in your house. Figure out a way to put our radio cast and sync it up with their video cast. You got the best of both worlds. You got Ryan and John talking to you every week like you're used to, yet you can still watch the game.
Absolutely. I can't remember my third point now.
I went too long over your word compatible.
You did. Thank you for that.
Because it bugged me. It's like you putting it on us. It's not on us.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
As always, we want to thank our generous sponsors for supporting this podcast, because without them, this podcast wouldn't be possible. Some of you might be hating them right now, but we love them and we thank them for their support. That would be Southern Junkies, Pelzel Printing, the Pilot Point Post Signal, Chandler Cabinets, Dana Walker with Germania Insurance, and last and certainly not least, my wonderful wife, Ashley Marsh Photography, her business. Without their generous support, without them bringing this podcast to you, you wouldn't get to hear from us. So, Bearcat fans, go out and support your local businesses. I've butchered this, and that's okay. Support your local businesses like they support us. And as always, go Bearcats.
Bearcats.